Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just want to take a few minutes and talk to you about some of the things that I hear when people find out that I'm fasting. Because first of all, I don't really tell a lot of people that I am fasting, okay? Because I know that it's not, now there's a lot of, I won't say hype, but there's a lot of news around it today. And so you hear about intermittent fasting and so, you know, in juice fast. So you hear a lot of stuff now, but still, when you say you're water fasting and you're talking about going more than just 16 hours, I hear a lot of crazy stuff. And the thing that I guess that most people don't understand, especially if you're not someone who has a serious weight problem, is that this is an addiction. Sorry, I had to get off my chest. If you are someone who's trying to lose 15, 20 pounds of just what I call vanity weight, and that's what I call it. I call it vanity weight because, you know, that's just something. It's like you want to look good to fit into a dress, or you want to do something better, then hey, that's great. And if it's hard for you, I get it. But I'm talking about people who are 100, 200 pounds overweight, trying to lose weight. You need something drastic. And what I don't think that, I guess like, and I've said in the earlier videos, and I'm sorry, let me calm down. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't know what it's like to be an alcoholic. And I know that I can sit back or I hate to use that analogy. Okay, just any dependent on something, on a substance, you know, substance abuse or whatever, to see someone knowing that they're hurting themselves, knowing that it's not helping them, and to see that it's ruining their lives, but they continue to go back to it and go back to it and go back to it. And no matter how many times people tell them that they need to stop, no matter how many times they've hurt people have cried with them, cried over them, and you still see that person who can be a smart person and do all other things decent, right, good, or whatever in their life, but that one thing is hurting them. You know why? It's because they are addicted to it, and it's an addiction, and it has to be broken. The physical is not just the only thing. I do believe that there are other things that have to be broken in it, but that is a huge thing. Food addiction is just as real as any other addiction. It is. And I get it that, like, if you are, you know, a size 0, whatever. If you're not a supremely overweight, and I hate to say it, morbidly obese person, you don't get it. You don't understand it, because salts, fats, sugars, oils, all that stuff, it is widely accepted. People can pig out on them all day long, and it is okay. But some people are addicted to those things. And this is my way that I see as of right now, to try to get myself not addicted to those things, to break it, to not be so addicted to food. Because here's the thing, as much as I know how bad it does hurt, I mean, like I started this part of the journey back at the end of September. Like I said, I had the mini heart attack, some things went wrong, got rushed to the hospital, and found out like I was killing myself, not slowly, but quickly. I was killing myself with a knife and fork. So I'm like, okay, I got to change some things. And then I started doing the water fast, you know, at the end of September. I didn't want to do the long extended fast. I just wanted to do something where I can do it for a few days, come off, eat a little bit or whatever. And even with all the information I have, even with knowing everything, there was still that pull to like, man, you know, it's like, okay, I do want to have something sweet. I do want to have this. I want to have something that's, you know, fried or greasy or whatever. Judge me if you want. But like, food is so accessible to us. You can get whatever you want, whenever you want. And if you grew up on those things, if food was like, you know, I'm from Alabama. We like our food. We likes it fried. We likes it big. We like it greasy and fatty and all that good stuff. You get raised on that. That is how you associate love, is through that food. You have issues in your life that maybe you haven't dealt with, and you become addicted to food, and you find yourself doing things that you like. I have to be a crazy person. And so I'm, you know, outside of, you know, the other things that, you know, I am doing spiritually to try to handle this and get over this. But like, food is a true addiction for some people. They can't just, when people are like, oh, just eat less and exercise more. Wow. I never thought of that. Oh, wow. Okay. So you say, if I eat less calories and exercise more, it'll all be good. Right. Okay. Yeah. Millions of people don't realize that. It is deeper than that. And because food can be tied to a lot of things, food can be tied to emotions. When you want to celebrate something, you eat. When if things go right, you eat. If things go wrong, you eat. That's the one thing that you can do by yourself. I mean, I've been to the point where I know I've gone through fast food drive-thrus and act like I was ordering for more than myself, because I'm like, oh, okay, I got 2 meals and I didn't want to I'm like, what did they say they want a large fry? Yeah, I think they want a large fry. And so on the second meal, let me get a large fry with that. It was for me. I can take that and I can eat it on my way home, throw it away, put it in a little mouthwash or whatever, walk into the house, act like I haven't eaten anything, and then sit down and have a meal with my family. I can wake up in the middle of the night, say I'm going to go grab some water, and grab 2 or 3 candy bars or some little honey buns or Debbie cakes, whatever, and do that in your own privacy. And it is a true addiction. You have to break that addiction. Like I said, I have been doing this I'm doing this for overall health. I don't want to die young. I don't want to go blind from diabetes. I don't want to have body parts amputated because of that. And like in diabetes, I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm like, that is something rough that we really gotta do something about, that can be changed with diet and exercise. But like, people are saying, oh, you're gonna kill yourself, this is not smart, you shouldn't do this, you should just eat moderately, you should do, you should exercise more, you should eat less, and you should just don't do carbs, don't do this. Oh, come on. It's more than that. It is more than that. And if it's not your issue, it's not your issue. But I know there are people out there who can watch this who, as depressed as you may be, or as much as you have tried, been years and years and years. And like I said, when you can see celebrities, when you can see people who have every resource available to them and they still struggle and go up and down with the food, that's because it's more than just the food. It is a full-blown addiction that people don't take seriously, and they just look at the people, or look at us who are overweight, who have a problem, who struggle. It's like, why can't you just stop? I mean, I have looked at myself and said, why don't you stop? I've lost so much weight so many times and get to a point where I'm like, okay, start getting the weight back, and it's like, just stop. Okay, your clothes are not fitting you anymore. Okay, you just went up a size. Okay, you're going up another size. This doesn't fit. And it's like, just stop it. Stop it from snowballing. And it's like, I can get ready. Sorry. At night. This is it. This is the last time. Feel horrible. I am bloated. Stomach is hurting just from overeating so much, and just be like about to pop, like I'm never gonna eat this way again. Tomorrow, I'm doing better. And by halfway during the day, the next day, I'm like, yeah, I remember I said I wasn't gonna do that, but man, I really could go for some, whatever it may be. It is an addiction. I think it is a chemical imbalance in the brain. Because it has to be. From the things that I've seen, studies, researches, and different things, like I've heard flour and sugar are more addictive than cocaine. It does something when you're that over. People don't get that big, or people don't get so big just because. there's hurting, there's pain, there's a lot of things that go with it. But there's something that it does when you're eating. For some people, it just shuts off, where it's like, hey, I'm full, I'm done, and they're good to go. Don't think about it. Man, I'm talking about like, I can plan my day around food, plan vacations around food. Like, oh, where I want to go. I know they got this and this over here, so let's go here. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I want to go to New York. I know they got the pizza, they got the dogs, they got the this, they got the that. Or, say, oh, if I'm going down south, okay, I know they got the barbecue, they got this, got that. That's not... The average person doesn't think that way. And like I said, I've said many times, me and my wife, she is the exact opposite. And it's so crazy to me to see her and how she thinks. Like, there were times like when I lost the weight, and I would give myself Sunday to eat whatever, my Sunday fun day. And, guy would come around selling cake, and I would buy, 2-3 slices, buy her a slice, right? And I remember just, having hers be sit out on the counter, and she wouldn't touch it for a day or two. And I'm like, is something wrong? I'm gonna go ahead and eat yours since you don't want to eat it, and then I'll just buy you another one because you letting the cake go. I'm like, how can you just let cake just sit there? In my mind, I'm like, it's got to be gone. And it's not it's like you don't finish when you're full. It's like you finish when it's gone. So I hear a lot of stuff, and I understand that if you're not an overweight person, if you've not been overweight for a large portion of your life, you don't get it, you don't understand it. But we all have our demons that we battle with. We all have our things that we face. And for some people, this is theirs. And the unfortunate part is that you wear it, you know what I mean? Because if you have other addictions, if there are things that you're addicted to, or things that you don't have control over, whether it may be gambling, whether it may be pornography, maybe it may be some other thing that you can do in private and secret that nobody knows except for you and maybe one other person, or you and your God. The food addiction is one that, people can see when you're not doing right. People can see that you have it because it shows up physically, and you get judged for that. And people see you differently when you are a bigger person versus being a smaller person. I can vividly remember the difference that I experienced just going into a store and trying on clothes and having a sales associate come up and talk to me and, continue conversation and trying to help me find something versus being a bigger guy going in, trying to find something and looking for somebody to help me. And it's not like it's just a one-time occasion. I'm just, saying, oh, this is how, it happened one time, and so that's law. No, it happened multiple times. So I would just say, doing fasting, doing the water fast, doing what I'm doing, it's my way for right now. If I find something better, if I find something else, if I change course, this channel is called A Journey in Health. So it will be a journey. It's one that'll be never ending. I don't care what weight I ever get to. Sustaining weight loss is just as hard, if not harder, than losing the weight. So the journey will continue. The journey will not end. It will not be, there is no arrival. There is no, okay, you reached your destination, now you're here, now it's over. It is a continuing thing. And so when I hear people say, hey man, that's crazy, you don't have to do all that. And you're right. For some people, they don't have to do all that. But for some of us, you may have to do all of that, because otherwise you're talking heart attacks, you're talking high blood pressure, you're talking strokes, you're talking diabetes, you're talking a life that is less, a life that's less, just because of the choices and actions that you made when it comes to food and your addiction to food. And for the longest time, it's like, I've known it and I felt it, but I just like didn't want to say, I'm addicted to food. It's real. And I think until you face it and realize that, you can't move forward, you can't, get past it until you realize it is an addiction. You have to treat it as such. And that's what I'm trying to learn now. Just, okay, I realize what it is. How do you treat an addiction? How do you treat it? So I have gone on for far too long. I didn't want this video to be long. I mean, it has been long. So again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments. Until next time, thank you for joining me on this journey in health.